your speech, you mentioned about suggesting that the government made a contingency plan in view of the dark clouds that's looming over the horizon. What kind of contingency plan are you talking about? Can you elaborate on it?
Well, as you can see, the global economy, the global economy is not in good shape. Markets are in turmoil. Government leaders in Europe and America are very worried about going on. They are having emergency meetings in order to try and shore up their financial systems and the economies. So this financial contagion, so far confined to Europe, but with problems in the US, could eventually spread to Asia, which is doing well so far. Then it will affect us. If a crisis should engulf the global economy and hit Singapore, we don't know what will be the consequences. Well, we do know one thing. Consequences will be very sudden, very widespread, and very disruptive. We have learned that. Having learned or gone through the experience of 2008 and 2009, my strong belief is it's not too early to plan ahead, develop contingency plans so that we are ready. What is most important with regard to these plans? First, Singaporeans will suffer hardship, so we must help them. Families with children, people living in 3-room HDB flats, other public accommodation. All this will require help. So that's the first step. Secondly, we must protect jobs. I come back to this again and again because I think this is very fundamental. People must have jobs. When you have high unemployment, as in the US, 9%, people who are unemployed for many years. In Europe, Spain, 15%. Greece, over 20%. Where is hope? There is no hope. Youths have been unemployed not for 1 or 2 months, but for several years and see no hope of finding employment. When that's the case, become frustrated, then they resort to drastic action, demonstrations, strikes, even riots. We must never let that happen in Singapore. So draw plans, help Singaporeans through the hardships, help companies, save jobs. But we must also take advantage of these challenges. What Singapore has shown is that we've always been able to not only to overcome the difficulties, but overcoming the difficulties to emerge from the crisis stronger and more resilient than ever. What we did in the last downturn, not only to help Singaporeans and companies, but to emphasize training, productivity, upgrading of skills. Because with less business, people have more time for that. These are wonderful steps. And there are other measures which I'm sure very capable officers in the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the Ministry of Finance can work out. Because every crisis is different in duration, in the nature, in how deep it is. Yes, if we drop the plans and we are not affected, I would be the happiest person then. But if we are affected, I am more assured, and I'm sure Singaporeans will be more assured if they know that the plans are ready and can be rolled out. So that we don't scramble around at the last minute after the crisis hits us trying to improvise. So that's my message.
Dr. Tan, are you suggesting that the government start thinking of another resilience package right now?
resilience package 2.0, right? I think that was a wonderful package which got us through the last recession, given us some experience. We know what works and what doesn't work. We should build on that experience. But I said the next crisis will be different. And we could need different type of plans to deal with the next crisis. But from the experience we had with the resilience package, that's given us a good start.
Dr. Tan, will you talk about your speech yesterday in Malay and Mandarin?
Sorry? Yeah.
Your speech yesterday night in Malay and Mandarin.
Yes.
Could you tell us what makes you decide to do it yourself and how long have you practiced for both speeches?
Well, I think that it's very important to be able to communicate directly with Singaporeans in a language which they're comfortable with. So I spoke in Malay, Mandarin, and English. I couldn't speak in Tamil. I mean, that's I tried, but I don't have the R's, or the tongue. But the Malay and the Tamil, I was able to do it. I think it's very important. I am a Peranakan. So the Malay speech was not too difficult because I'm used to the Malay idiom. The Chinese speech, I hope it was all right. I practiced a lot and I worked very hard, and I'm glad that it seems to have come off reasonably well. But practice is what you need if you want to master a language, but I think it is very important to be able to talk directly to voters rather than to have somebody voice over your English speech. And I hope to be able to do that on other occasions as well. But, delivering speeches in another language, there is no roller road or magic road to it. It requires hard work and requires a lot of practice, but I'm glad that it seems to have been successful. Thank you very much.